I'm going to give it a minute to start getting into the message. Please let me know that you're here. Please let me know if my audio and video is good. Give it a minute. Ian. Guys, go check out Techno Endo's YouTube channel. Guy does things with video. I almost quit after watching his videos because he just does it like nobody else. Ian is Techno Endo. Ian, let me know in the chat if I'm saying that right. Guy makes an incredible video. Seriously. Like, yeah, the ad that went in the paper was like, need person who can produce video like this guy, and then I put a link to Techno Endo's YouTube channel. Guy's legit. Hey, but you know what, Techno Endo? Everyone finds it. I send people your way. I give you shout outs. People find it, and they say the same thing. Great channel. Great channel. Who cares what the name is? You do what you do, man. E-Reptile, glad you made it. I wanted to kind of cover two issues in tonight's live. First and foremost, shameless plug. Get that out of the way. New video I put a lot of work into dropping tomorrow on the Roundup Rodeo channel. It's called The Tale of Two Timber Rattlesnakes. Now what happened is my computer, my iMac, my editing machine, crashes while I'm in the middle of like trying to make, well, a video like Ian makes. Extra production, extra B-roll, more attention to audio. I'm taking like every tip Ian, SmetLogic, those guys ever gave me. I'm working on this video for 2 weeks. Rob at SmetLogic is like, dude, that's not uncommon. I'm like, okay. So like I'm going for it. Crash, hard drive goes down. I've got to like repair my Mac, back everything up. Hey, E-Reptile, I think your name is actually pretty funny. Me and Squatchy were talking about that the other night. It was kind of easier when you were Brutus, but people find your name a lot too now, because I've sent some people your way. And I've told them, look for E-Reptile dysfunction and then like rattlesnake or coach whip, and they're finding it. Outdoors with Big Matt, thank you for stopping in. Thank you for wrenching. Anyone with a wrench, just nuke any profanity, because the second part of this message may be like sent out to like a different kind of audience than the normal herp gang. Oh, Ian, you have no idea. And then it happened on a Mac. I've been working with Macs for about 3 to 4 years. If it had happened in a Windows environment, I could have had it fixed in 30 minutes. Because like all my stuff, all my computer education growing up was Windows based. So I'm like calling IT people I know at like 2 in the morning. They're like hating my guts. And basically got some tips, got squared away. I was going to do this live 2 or 3 nights ago. And let's remove whoever that is, the Russian bot. I'd user on this channel. Okay. And I was going to do this live like right after this one incident happened. Nothing to do with the hard drive crash. But anyway, is what it is. I didn't get to do it when I wanted to do it. Video poaching. Right, Ian. And that's what I've done is I'm pretty much going to be I'm just going to build a server because I've got like 3, 4 8 TB portable hard drives. I was sitting over there, transferred everything over there, booting it off that, so now it doesn't take the RAM on the computer's hard drive, and I can actually do a live, watch myself do it, and finish a video. Ian, if you don't know my channel Roundup Rodeo, I'm not suggesting you sub to it, but I did it to document like stuff I'd seen at rattlesnake roundups, and I kind of like kept it under the wraps. One video on that channel blew up, and it monetized that channel in a week. I went from like 200 subs and 0 watch hours to like just an insane amount of traffic. So I'm starting to upload my nature videos and stuff over there because, I mean, it's monetized. I'm trying to make what I can while I can. Great fire. Oh, God. Oh, God. Ian, that is like my worst nightmare, which is why I try to use cloud backup too, even though I don't understand it. Like, I need to take a class specifically on that. Like, a lot of my stuff, I'm pretty sure I generally upload any good video I have to both this channel, Roundup Rodeo, use them as backups for each other. It never hurts to have a secondary channel as a backup channel, even if you just keep all the videos unlisted. But anyway, I've heard Lou B complain about this before. Not complain, but address it. I've heard it's happened to Smet Logic. I would not doubt it's happened to Techno Indo. I kind of like saying that name. Okay, so I think it's cool, Ian. You got me on your side. But video poaching. I saw a video tonight from Matt's Reptiles. Something about that. The guy was tripping about video poaching. Reptile, hang in there, you'll get there. If you could just get an Instagram or Facebook or some way to message me, I can help you with a lot. And I'll take the time for you, Reptile. But anyway, video poaching. My understanding, and any senior YouTubers, Techno-Indo, Smet Logic, anyone else knows far more about YouTube than I do. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if you have a Creative Commons license, people can sample your content and not have to ask. If I'm recalling this correct and I'm reading it right, that's the story. If you have a standard YouTube license, they cannot. What Mark's Reptiles was going off about was that people were taking his video and then putting it on their channel, like as part of like a compilation, like, you know, and stuff, and then they were monetized channels when he's like trying to get monetization or has it. And yeah, I'm like you, Ian. If I see people poaching someone else's video, I'll at least let that person know about it. Last time it happened, I saw a clip from Ori Martin, the Texas snake hunter. Reptile Dysfunction, if you haven't checked him out, that'd be a good channel for you to check out. Guy makes the guy used to make, he hasn't done it in a while, but he made some pretty killer species profile type videos and field herping videos. It was good stuff. And I'm the same way, Ian. And you know what? I'll let about anybody use anything if they give me credit and they ask. Even the stuff that I've got on my monetized channel, it's like all the time I get emails, and that's why I throw an email at the end of a lot of my videos. I get a game ranger from South Dakota who says, you know, I really like that clip you got of that bull snake. Can you, like, send it to me? Sure. Can you not write me a ticket if ever I do something screwed up in your state when I'm up there herping? Exactly. And the asking is 90% of it. That's, I'll try and put it in chat. Ori Martin, Texas snake hunter. I guarantee you, Reptile, you'll enjoy that channel. And Ian, the only time I sold commercial video, the stuff was horrible. It was like filmed in captivity with like an old Sony Bloggy. It's like it wasn't even 1080, it was like 720. And I was like, you guys want to buy this? Seriously? They bought it. It's on the world's deadliest Nat Geo Wild on the snakes episode. It's the tentacled snake footage. Basically, what I'm trying to say is most people in the YouTube community either want their work to be recognized, right? Yeah. Oh, the paycheck was like stupid crazy. It's like $32 a second, and they bought 33 seconds of like the most horrible crap I've ever shot. I'm like sitting there like, I'm getting these like macro close-ups of like rattlesnakes, venom dripping off the phone, and it's perfect lighting. And oh, you want to buy that? Oh no, 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 send me the contract. What do you do, man? You got to do what you got to do. God knows Ian. Ian has some sophisticated equipment. He knows how to use it. You see, there's people like me that have sophisticated equipment. We don't know how to use it. That's a scary thing. But at the same time, like very few video makers I know, even talking to people who have worked on like professional stuff, because sometimes those people cross my path, they hardly ever say that they make what they put into it. Like, by the time you buy $1,000 camcorder, or, well, now it's a $500 camcorder, by the time you buy your drone, your GoPro, the things you use to get the things to, it's kind of like you could sell video all week long, you'd never make back the equipment cost. This is the Sony Bloggy, Ian. This thing was like all the rage in 2006 or 2007. And had a little screen on here, you can watch the back. This is what I started filming at roundups when I wanted to expose what was going on there that I disagreed with. Yeah, they do. They do in a hurry. And then everything else. I mean, $30 tripod here, $50 gimbal there, stuff like that. Live Freedom. Oh my gosh, good to have you. I am going to add you as a moderator because I may need some help in here tonight. Exactly, Ian. 90% of what I do anymore is my phone or my Sony AX53. I use some drone and GoPro for the B-reel type. You're all tech and no story. I can come up with an incredible story. I just can't pull it all together. It's too choppy. And right, gimbals are amazing at the low end. That's why I got a DJI Mini 2. I just use it as a gimbal. I just like this rock cliff over here, zoom it right past it. Or put it in slow-mo, whatever that is, that cinema. And just go right past it. Works out very well. But what I will say is how we all are, Ian. Ask people. They will appreciate, like if you were to ask me, can I use this video? I'd be like, what for? If it's not for profit project, I'd be like, no problem, here. Give me a timestamp. Let me edit it for you, I mean, I just want my name out there, And then that way, like I said, if ever I'm in your state and you're a game warden or a naturalist, I can maybe hit you up before I go up there. You can maybe hook me up with some spots. Because, man, I suck at finding spots. Right on, Techno-Indo. Techno-Indo, man. I'm going to say that name 50 times tonight. You know I am, Ian, but it's cool. Ariel, how you doing? I saw that Live Freedom. I have not got to go back and catch that stuff. but it is on my to get to list. And Life Freedom, just know, dude, you and me, we go way back. I will get your stuff, man. Trust me. It's been a kind of a crazy day. But anyway, I wanted to say, let's be community. If I see someone out there with Ian or Luz or Smetlogic's video on their channel, I'm going to take the time to hit them up on Facebook, Messenger, email, whatever, and say, hey, did you know this video? Save the link. This video right here has some of your footage in this, or it looks like your footage. Is this your footage? Let's all look out for each other, man, because we're already this awesome community. The people in my chat right now, best people in the world. I say it every time, but I mean it. I'm glad you guys show up for my lives. Me personally, I think they're a little dry and boring. Some people say, you know, you need to show more snakes in your lives. Note the triangular head on this poisonous snake. I've got a coral snake over there. Thinking about taking that thing down to West Texas and dropping it on the road. Just to mess with my buddies. Right. Oh, and I agree, and totally fine to share and say, look at this awesome video by so-and-so. Look at this awesome video by Ariel Viking Venture and Victuals. Look at this awesome video, awesome drone footage from Techno Endo, my buddy Ian. That kind of stuff, sharing it is great. But what this one guy was talking about was like they removed his watermark. They didn't attribute the video to him. They uploaded it like it was their own video. He has some kind of video that's on fire. I didn't even go look it up yet. But it's like, if you're just a damn thief, you're a damn thief. And I don't care if you lose your channel or not. I don't care if you lose your monetization or not. All you had to do was ask and you would have got an answer. And I understand that the technical licensing of this stuff isn't really easy to understand. But then again, that's where I say, you know, your always safe bet is to shoot someone an email. Can I use this footage? That way, if anything ever comes back against you, someone turns around 10 years later down the road, tries to sue you. Well, I got this email. They said I could. Play it safe and just don't be a nozzle about it. So I'm going to get off that soapbox. Exactly. And Life Freedom, your channel is like a good example of like when you borrow Creative Commons footage used under Creative Commons, you know, here's the original creator. You are like a good example of that. You might ought to make a video on that because it might do well. But I want to kind of switch gears from that. I'm supposed to be up at like 8 in the morning, and it's like 2 in the morning here. I don't really see it happening. Good advice. Guys, read what Techno Endo has to say. But I want to talk about something I normally don't talk about on this channel. And it is going to get serious. Bail out now if you want. I mean, I would hope you wouldn't. But we all know these last 2 years have been really challenging, dealing with this sickness that's going around, dealing with all these different rules, things, lockdowns, you know, things. And I stay really close to the community I grew up in. Most of my friends are all still there. Some of my rent houses are there. It's like this place I'm always going to be tied to. Born there, tried to escape it a couple of times, didn't work. Things worked out for the better for me to stay there. I just recently moved to the other side of town to be around my wife's family, because we were over there and we kind of stuck it out over there to take care of my family, which now none of them are left, but that's okay. But anyway, with the lockdowns, and things this last year, it came to my attention that about this time last year and another incident this week, there were two different suicides by young people. Anyone who knows me personally knows that, like, I'm going to go out and, volunteer for, the local March Against Suicide or, benefit for mental health awareness. Anyone who knows me knows I'm going to be all over that stuff. The one thing that got me was this girl. I'm not going to say the name of my community once I give this information. Hit me up in PM if you're, like, really curious about it. There's not a lot of information out there about it, but I kind of know some people who know the story. A 12-year-old girl was being bullied by her so-called boyfriend to take nude pictures and send them to her, or send them to him. One, I'm thinking, I understand what's going on when you're 12, 13, enter junior high, get out of grade school. No, I was there. I was there 35 years ago, but I was there. I understand puberty. I understand adolescence. My wife claims that I've never left adolescence. She's technically right. I don't want to grow up. I was reading the Bible one day and it said, "Thou shalt not attain adulthood." Just kidding. But yeah, I'm a big kid at heart. But I'm thinking, one, why would you want anything to do with a guy that wants you to do something you don't want to do? Or a girl, either or. I mean, I'm sure this goes on all over the place. And two, why is the answer to that a permanent, solution that you can't undo? And hundreds of people are upset that these two kids are no longer with us. The other was a male who was, I think, around 14, and he was being bullied online for some other reason. I don't know as much details about that as I do the first case. But, like, Instagram accounts were made to specifically bully both these kids. Facebook accounts were made to bully both these kids. And I'm sitting there going, good God, where are the parents? I mean, I know parents working two jobs, doing what they can. But do we really need 12-year-olds running around with social media? And believe me, I am not the censorship person. I am not. I'm kind of like, say what you got to say and then pay the consequences. You say something stupid, pay the consequences. Gary, welcome. Glad you're here, Gary. But I'm thinking about this 12-year-old girl who I knew people that were close to their family. And the boyfriend and like some other group of girls were pressuring her to take nude photos and send them to them. And I'm sitting there thinking, one, really stupid thing to do at any level of your life. But two, why kill yourself over something like that? I mean, any reptile, I get that. But what I kind of transpired from all this was that this girl had a problem, and to the best of what I can tell, she didn't tell her parents, she didn't tell her older brother, and why not? I mean, I understand nobody wants to be a tattletale, and nobody wants to be a snitch. Oh, I get it. Believe me, I've been involved in enough stuff I could have went to jail for that, I totally get that. But grade school crap isn't like that. Be a tattletale. Tell a responsible adult. Tell a teacher. If that teacher doesn't do anything, tell another teacher. Tell the principal. Tell your brother. Tell your dad. I mean, I would not have wanted to be bullying some girl when I was in 6th grade. That was probably some girl somewhere, and her dad come after me. I just, no. Would have been a bad situation. Because I know that back in those days, my dad would have been like, well, go talk to him. You're 13. Handle it. Okay, I got out this front door. I'm going to get beat to death or die. I was okay with that. My dad, he's such a mess. We lived on a farm some when we were younger, and he would pull this stuff where he would, you'd tell, like I was 7, he would tell me, get on a horse, you can ride her, it's broke. And she wasn't broke, so end up getting thrown off, trampled. It was kind of a rough childhood in a way. I'm kind of glad that I grew up in those days. Right, live. I mean, and I don't know that kids need to have social media. Admins, I can't see the screen. Watch for bots. A few have already showed up tonight, and I've been able to get them. But my main computer just disconnected from the internet. Ah, good heavens, if it's not one thing, it's another. Oh well, I'm going to finish this live. And hopefully it's all well. Hopefully there's not too much drama in the chat. I'm going to try and check the messages as they pop up. But one, I know what it's like to be an alienated teenager. You got to remember, I've been into snakes my whole life. And, here's me in 6th grade, trying to talk to the girl at the locker, 2 lockers over. I got the new Audubon field guide for reptiles and amphibians, and she'd run down the hall screaming, ah, Being a kid is rough. You don't know what's going to go on. And it was rough back then. Think about it now with all the technology we've got. Yeah, Ariel, my home internet is out. It's like service not available. Taggers. God. I don't know, but anyway. Let's see if I can pull it up in Safari. But the message that I'm trying to get out is maybe it's time to start some new trends. Maybe it's time to start some new I don't want to say traditions, but be a tattletale, be a snitch. If something is going to happen, and it's going to make you upset enough that you're going to think suicide is the answer, tell a responsible adult, tell an older friend, tell another friend, tell 20 people. Whatever you do, don't cross that bridge. When I was in 10th grade, I was part of a group of about 5 kids and we all look like Marilyn Manson. I mean, this was even before the whole goth thing. We were just reject heavy metal kids. That's who we were. I don't mind saying that either. Had a lot of good times with that group. But there were six of us, six that I remember. Three of them committed suicide by the time we hit senior year in high school. 3 out of 6. A fourth one attempted it, was not successful. Today he's living a happy life as an artist. Guy lives in paradise. Guy lives over on an island in Hawaii. It's pretty amazing. But for the other three, they'll never find out what's behind the next door because they took that leap. And I've been depressed enough to be there myself. I mean, I've had times growing up where my parents were writing my case, school people were writing my case, couldn't do anything right, and taking a bottle of pills seemed like it seemed like it was like the answer. I talked to people. Mine wasn't so much about bullying, it was more about dealing with like the chaos of my family life. But I talked to people. I talked to my high school counselors. One, it was a way to get out of like third period history. But two, it's like I got some good stuff from those people. You should read this book. I happen to have an extra copy here. You should join this club. You will meet some good people over here in this club. And it's really kind of the aspect of these kids today. About 4 or 5 years ago, I got re-involved with the local group that addresses things like, the survivors of suicide, those benefits, fundraisers, support groups, things like that. I got into that because this girl who I grew up with, her daughter was being bullied at school. And she committed suicide. Some kid typed, "Go kill yourself" on her Facebook wall. And so she did. Now, me, in the world I grew up in, someone tells you something like that, back in the 80s, it'd be like, why don't you get your butt over here and do it for me? Why don't you do it, hotshot? If you don't want me around, come on. Got into a lot of fights when I was younger. My whole crew did. But either way, that kind of triggered me getting back involved with this stuff, and I don't really like to talk about it a lot outside of what I do. But things change all the time. I've walked away from the reptile community 3 or 4 times, and like seriously cut ties with like everybody but like 2 people. And then I wind up coming back. You find your way back into things. Right now, I'm real big into droning. I like snakes. I like filming snakes. There's like 3 or 4 months of winter here you can't film snakes or any other reptiles, bugs, lizards, turtles, tortoises. So I'm getting pretty into droning. And things may change. Things may change in my life. Things may change in your life. But I really hope if there's any young people tonight, or older people, it doesn't matter. If you have a problem that's pushing you to that edge, find someone to talk about it with. I used to, I've got about 6 years sobriety going on right now. God, I love to drink. I miss it so much. It's caused me problems in other areas, so I decided to get rid of it. But one thing I always heard in AA was that a problem shared is a problem half solved. And I'd like kids to really grasp onto that. Never think that you're alone. Because even though with the lockdowns, isolations, all that stuff, it seems like you may feel alone, you're not. Trust me, you're not. And if you do take the bottle of pills, shoot yourself, slash your wrist, whatever, there's going to be hundreds of people that are, even if nobody likes you, because I've seen this, there's going to be dozens, if not hundreds of people that are going to miss you. They're going to wonder, why didn't I do something? Why didn't I make more time for that person? And it happens. Even if you're not friends with that person, it happens. Another guy I went to high school with, we grew up playing some sports together, and then kind of high school went, and I went heavy metal drug abuse way, and he kept going into sports. He took his life in his 40s. And I had seen him at the hardware store like a week before. And looking back, I could tell that he wanted to talk about something. And I was like, man, here, find me on Facebook. Good to see you. I gotta get my stuff. I gotta get in the truck. I gotta go. Gotta be on a job. And looking back, I wonder if I could have saved that dude's life if I'd have taken an extra 10 minutes and been late to a job that I could have been late to. It's haunting. I personally despise bullying. I probably did some of it when I was in school. I was the recipient of some of it when I was in school. Kind of went a little haywire. But and my mind went there. But I talked to other people. I did other things. I coped with it in other ways. I'm tracking with you, Ian. I'm tracking. Yeah, Gary, and I've known people that have done stuff like that, 50-50, half and halves, and like, I'm going to do this and maybe I'll wake up, maybe I won't. I've seen people down like a bottle of Xanax and then start drinking. And I think that's kind of what happened to Kurt Cobain over in Italy. Yeah, and it has, Ariel, and I think it's taken a real toll on kids because they don't know what to do. When their social life is their whole world, stuff like this is devastating. I don't want to get too much into that because God knows this will get flagged or something, but like me, sit in a house, avoid people for 2 years. I'm going to head to the herping spots. I'm going to break out the camera gear. I'm going to do some droning. That's how I'm going to cope with stuff like that. Oh, I miss people. Oh, I believe me, I miss people. I've got a lot of friends. And a lot of them send me messages, texts, private messages, emails. And some of them are like, hey, bars are open back up, restaurants are open back up, let's go do lunch. Okay, those people I go to lunch with. Some people I know, they're still scared to leave their home. And text me. Text me if you got a problem. Call me. Exactly, you reptile. You don't realize it's wrong, and stuff happens, and exactly, and kind of the same thing over here. We've got a bot. We've got a bot. I don't know what the heck is going on. God, I can't get that bot. Ariel, it's right below you. Do not know why my internet... Thank you, Ariel. My internet seems to be back. Aha. I think I need to like down my router or something or reboot it. Hello, comrade. Love the sense of humor, Ian. Especially for tonight. But getting back to what I'm saying, yeah, snitches get stitches. But are you a member of a biker gang? Or are you on the 6th grade volleyball team? Two totally separate worlds. I think, hey, Techno Endo. I think you accidentally got timed out by someone. I'm going to unhide you. Gary, Techno Endo is cool. He was just making a joke. If that's what happened, I'm not sure. But anyway, you know, I understand. You don't want to run to the teachers or your parents and tell them anything or everything. I get it. But heaven forbid I had a 12-year-old daughter and she told me she was getting bullied and some guy was trying to push her into sending her nude pictures. 6th grade. We're talking 12, 13-year-old here. Oh, I'm talking to that kid's parents. And if that's not satisfactory, I'm talking to that kid. I'm probably going to do more than talk. Because I'm not really afraid of pain. I should be. I'm not. Don't want to go there, don't want to be internet tough guy, but let's face facts. I mean, people attack me all day long for the stuff I've done, the stuff I've been involved with, speaking out against roundups and things like that. I've had threats, I've had all this stuff. I've had people tell me they see me in their town again, they're gonna, do something to me, and I'm like, do you think I'm stupid enough to go to your town without security? But, get after it. But then you go after my family, or you try to dox one of my friends. Hey, Homestead. Oh, the Big Brother mindset just goes off the rails. And I've talked about this a little before, but like 2 years ago, I was the recipient of a doxing attack where some false information, which fell in the category of slander, was released about me on Facebook by people who didn't know me. I called an attorney. I said, look, if I lost a future job or something because of what these people put online, I'm going to sue them. And then I kind of found out these people really don't have any money, don't have anything. So it's like I could get their car that barely works. But at the same time, and that's with adults. That's with like people who have kids and stuff that believe this kind of stuff is cool. And once again, I understand there's like a fine line where like if someone really needs to be called out about something or exposed, I get that. But it's kind of like, I don't want to be the person that does that, like unless I'm 100% sure of all circumstances, know everything. But I got accused of being something that I wasn't. And it had me pretty worked up. And I dropped about 25 people that I've herped with for anywhere from 10 to 20 years. Lost some incredible friendships in the deal. Well, I thought they were incredible friendships. Kind of thought the guy that I started talking to when I got back into snakes after being away for a while would know enough about me to take up for me in that situation. He didn't. Oh, okay, no. Silence is compliance, if you ask me. You're gone. And I literally wrote that guy off. Have nothing for him. I'm not gonna say anything bad about him, but you're not gonna be part of my life. I mean, I've got a lot of people who had my back through that situation, and they, they said what needed to be said. One guy, who's a guy that I've worked with on stuff pertaining to the Roundup issue forever, he couldn't open his mouth. He was too chicken scratch to say anything. I feel like me and this guy have been through hell forever. And he's hanging on to my list by a thread. And what I don't know that he understands is for what he's trying to do, he really needs me. And I walk, there goes his book. So I've got all the info he's going to put in that book. So I may just write it instead. Because, once again, you know, you really find out who your friends are sometimes. And adolescence, getting back to the topic, is not an easy time for anyone, for any kid. I mean, even the kids that seem to have it all, that seem to be popular, that seem to have no problems, they've probably got some demons that you don't know about. And what I want to encourage people to do, if anyone sees this video later, afterwards, I don't care. Get away from this mentality that you can't tell an adult, that you can't tattle, that you can't say, hey, I'm having a problem. You're my dad, you're my mom, you're my teacher. Can you help me deal with this? You're my counselor. This whole concept of just keeping everything inside and not dealing with it in an effective manner, to me, is counterproductive. Think about why you don't want to be a tattletale, or think about why you don't want to be a snitch. Okay. Like I said, when you're in your 30s and you're part of a biker gang, it's a totally different scenario than when you're a junior high school student. We need to make those delineations clear to our kids. We need to say, yes, it is okay to talk to someone if you're having a problem, if you're depressed, if you think you're going to do something that, ending your life is a pretty big deal. And you should, just my thoughts, you should explore all options before you go there. But this whole community that I'm talking about has been torn apart by this situation. And people are pointing fingers at the teachers, people are pointing fingers at the parents, people are pointing fingers at the bullies and the people who are doing the bullying. Look, I get it. Everyone's emotions get worked up. People want to, have someone to blame. I totally understand. But that's not productive. What is productive? Let's have that conversation and go forward from there. And although I know I do have a lot of kids that watch my channel because they comment on my videos. I know I've got some kids, 4th grade to high school age, that I watch their channels, they watch my channel. I give them advice on how to build a flip spot or something like that, and they're like, oh, it worked, and they hit me up on Instagram or something, message me, hey, thanks for all the help, and I'm like, hey, someone gave it to me. Might as well pay it back and pay it forward. But one of those kids is going to see this video sooner or later, and I hope they're going to take to heart what I say. If you're thinking of something so drastic as to end your life, I really hope you tell an adult. I really hope that adult takes you seriously. My advice to you is, if that adult does not take you seriously, tell another adult. And keep telling adults until you find one that takes you seriously. Because I've seen parents blow off some pretty crazy red flags before. And I'm not trying to judge them. I'm just saying it happens. But this answer sucks. So I'm going to go look for another answer. Can be as simple as that. My heart just really goes out to these two different families. One was a suicide last year, one was a suicide this year. And two different kids, from what I can tell, both of them were in the mindset of, I have nowhere to turn. I have no one that can help me with this. And in reality, there were dozens of people around them that could have helped them with this had they known about it. It takes you being willing to speak up. It takes you being willing to talk about things. I'm sure some of the people in my chat have kids of their own. I don't. I married later in life. I just never got around to having kids. Took too much money away from my technology and snake addiction. But just checking. But and I don't know if I'd have made a good parent. I really don't. I kind of grew up in some messed up stuff. But I know one thing. I talked about it. I sent a note to the school counselor. Hey, I got to talk to you about something. My parents are fighting. This is going on. This person is giving me grief. This teacher is riding my back. I can't handle it. I'm going to lose it. They had the words. They had the suggestions. Now, it was on me to take them up on those suggestions and do those things. But I'm here today. I didn't go down that other path. I told someone. I talked about it. I guess that's really about all I have to say. If you're thinking of doing something, if you're thinking of hurting yourself or someone else, it's time to talk about it. Don't worry about being a tattletale, because you're past that time. I understand. You don't want to be the person that in the 7th grade says, hey, Mrs. Johnson, look at those two kids over there. They're swapping notes when we're supposed to be taking the test. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about this weird bullying that seems to be technology related, that really kind of seems to, it's going to sound judgmental, but if you think I'm being judgmental, let me know in the comments. I think parents are giving their kids too much stuff. I don't think kids 12 to 15 need to have like full-blown access to the internet. If your kid has a smartphone and they're like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and that thing doesn't have filters on it, are you kidding me? I mean, do you not know what goes on out there on the internet? And then I get mad at the internet companies because I've been hit up by other moms in this community. Can you help us report this page? This page's only purpose is for bullying this 8th grader. And I've seen 50 people report something that is against Facebook's terms and conditions or Instagram's terms and conditions. And they kick back the message, well, this doesn't go against our terms and conditions. I'm starting to hope those companies start getting sued, literally. I'm not real big on like going after like a medium like Facebook, but when 100 people report the same Facebook page and nothing gets done about it, and then you sneeze the wrong way or share a meme or something, and your account gets restricted by artificial intelligence for 30 days. I think I think I think it's time for them to share some responsibility. Exactly, reptile. Growing up in bad situations won't make you a bad parent either. I just don't think I would have been good at it because I have like zero patience. Raising kids does take patience. That's the one thing I've heard. But, you know, I just am kind of speechless because I'm thinking of a 12-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy who both got cyberbullied. Now they're both gone. Exactly, Ariel. I think that's probably a good thing. But then there will be other kids that will have it. You know, even if this parent takes the smartphone away from this kid and that kid can't participate in it, there'll be other kids whose parents let them have it. It's a slippery slope. And I don't know that, like taking kids away, phones away is the complete answer. Once again, I'm thinking these companies like Facebook, Instagram should have some culpability. I really do. I'll tell you what, and I'm going to end this pretty quick. So, got anything to say? You can leave it in the comments afterwards if you can't hit the chat now. But I am on LinkedIn for job related stuff. I don't do any reptile stuff over there. It's 150% me in a suit and tie, and I only share things related to my field. I only get involved in those conversations. And I saw a conversation this week on LinkedIn where this lady said it and mentioned it in the comment thread. She pretty much said, I'm going to dox everybody in this thread. I'm going to screenshot all this and send it to all your employers. And I'm sitting there like, while I can understand her being upset that other people didn't think like she did, that's against LinkedIn's terms and conditions. And they're supposed to be the professional side of social media. I reported the comment because these people are just sharing their opinions about the situation. You can block them, you don't have to follow them. But this lady completely said, hey, I'm going to dox you. And I read through the terms and conditions of LinkedIn. And that is something they do not tolerate there. But I had 3 or 4 other people report it too. Comments still up. Well, once again, I would like to see these technology companies, even down to YouTube, if it's used that way, start having some responsibility in these situations. Some people may disagree with me. Maybe we need to have a deeper discussion at another time. Please hold me to that. Leave me a comment down in the section below, comment section below. I'll make sure you can get a hold of me through Instagram or Facebook or email. But, if you're a young person out there going through a difficult time, I want you to know one thing. When I was young, I went through a lot of difficult times. They do not last forever. Things change. And in high school, I was absolutely miserable. I did think about taking my own life when I was in high school. I sure did. I got out of high school, didn't go directly to college. I detoured and got a job at Sears. And that job led to so much fun, so many parties, so many other things, that the life that I didn't have in high school happened for me the moment I left high school. But I would have missed it if I hadn't talked to someone. I really feel for kids today, what they have to go through. Bullying's always been around. It's been around since my parents were kids. And it probably went on long before that. I'm sure it did. I mean, I'm sure that's always going to be with us. But now you add the technology, and it looks like it's pretty crazy out there. Young people are going through a lot. Exactly, Ariel. The teens were, the teens were like, for me, they were like the best of times and worst of times. When they were good, they were really good. But when they were bad, oh my God, they were bad. I got away from my family. No offense to my family. They did the best they could, but I got away from my family, got a job, moved out, started hanging with this group of guys. We had a lot of fun. We would go out, we would party, we would meet girls, we would go do things, we would get into trouble, and this everything that I thought I was missing out on in high school and that you generally go to college to get, I got from a job at a retail store. I'm still friends with several people from there today. Like lifelong bonds happened out of that place. We've all gone about our adult lives. We all talk maybe once, twice a year, if that. But once again, think about what would have not been had I not taken my problems to someone who could help. I mean, if anything, my God, Google free teen hotline. You'll get some direction. And most of those people are there not because they're making money, it's because they care and they want to help. I knew a lady who volunteered at the local one here in my state. And it was like this wonderful thing that kids had a place where they didn't feel they could talk to their parents. You could call this number. Not necessarily for advice, but maybe a little guidance. She was telling me about the stories or not about the stories, but about different cases that they had that they worked through. I have no doubt they saved some kids' lives. I have zero doubt. But anyway, this was what was on my heart and mind about a week ago, maybe less than a week ago, when I was going to do a live. I announced it, and then I ended up having to scrap it because the computer went down. But thank you guys for listening. I think I'm going to put a comment in the chat and name some resources for kids, just in case any kid stumbles across this video, needs help with something. I'll probably do that and do that tomorrow because I plan on saving this video and letting it, be out there for a while. Probably forever. Because it's a message that will probably be relevant the rest of my life. I want to thank all my Hammer people who jumped in to help with things tonight. Guys, go check out each other's channels. Erectile Dysfunction, check out Techno Endo. Live Freedom, check out Techno Endo. Techno Endo. Check out Ariel, Viking Venture and Victuals. Everybody check out Ariel. Ariel's just so cool. She's so amazing. I really am glad to be Ariel, I'm really sorry I didn't get to get on that last live of yours. It's like the 5 to 6 o'clock hour here, Central Standard Time in the United States is like my most unavailable time. That and Sunday evenings. A lot of guys want to know why I don't hit the Venom Kings chat. It's just like it's a Sunday afternoon thing. I may be able to watch it afterwards if I'm lucky. I like those guys. Nothing there, but it's just the timing. I can't make it. It's one of those hours I can't make. But Ariel, me and you will get on and go live together soon from your channel, hopefully. And hopefully we can get some stuff going over there. Guys, got a new video dropping tomorrow, The Tale of Two Timber Rattlesnakes. It was going to be a little bit better than it was. I've watched the finished product. It's not bad. In all honesty, it's going to be one of my more favorite videos. So, I hope I made Ian proud. I don't know if he's still with us in chat after Gary accidentally nuked him. These things happen. Gary meant no offense, trust me, Ian. Techno Endo is Ian. Ian is a good guy. And Ian has videos that are worth seeing. If you're into field herping, if you're into technology, Techno Endo is a channel you need to check out. Yeah, and he's still here. And you see, Ian's a survivor. Dude survives everything. And he gets some great drone footage and some great stuff. I've kind of been watching some of your videos and thinking, okay, no, I see what he did there. He got this shot, this angle, and it really helps tie these two scenes together. We're all learning from each other. And once again, like I said, let's be community. Let's keep an eye out for each other. If you see any of my video on someone else's channel, please let me know about it. Maybe I give him permission, maybe I didn't. But, you know, and also, hey, right, Ian, no hate on dumb phones. Hey, thank you for throwing up Ian's link, Ariel. That's what I kind of think. Exactly. And once again, that's been my salvation for a long time, is to go out and play with snakes, or photograph critters, or photograph flowers, photograph plants. You know, anything that's native, it's not invasive, I'm pretty interested in. Of course, I can do some stuff on invasive things as well, although we don't have a lot of that here. We've got the Turkish house geckos, which make great feeders if you have speckled rattlesnakes, which I don't, but if I did, you know. But in all seriousness, the one thing I want to leave on tonight is kids and adults. If you feel like you're going to do something that is something you can't take back, if you feel like you're going to step over that bridge, please talk to someone. Please find a responsible adult, find a responsible older friend. No, you know, too late, Ian. I already saw the Norpax. I already saw the Norpax, man. Ian, I don't know if you know this about me. The Norpax is like my favorite rattlesnake. I mean, like, ridge noses are cool. I love them. Banded rock rattlesnakes are cool. I love them. Those Northern California, almost bluish looking Norpax. Oh my God. Good heavens. Oh, you're fine. You're fine, Ian. You're fine. Man, dude, anytime on my channel, bud. You're great. I was just like, Norpax. Because, man, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about something that can lift depression? Nothing lifts depression faster than a banded rock or a Norpax. But kids, tell someone, tell a teacher. If the teacher can't help you, tell another teacher. Tell a counselor, tell a principal, tell your adults, tell your parents, tell your friends' parents, tell the world. Go live on Facebook and throw it out there. That's not ideal, that's not the best way, but my gosh, anything beats taking something that is a temporary problem and facing it with a permanent solution. Your life's worth more than that. No matter what you think you've done, no matter what you have done, or no matter how bad you think it is now, your life is worth more than that. So let's get away from the mindset that we can't talk to adults when we need to talk to adults. Exactly. Exactly, Ian. Don't die alone. We're all dying. Let's lift each other up. No time for negativity. I slip into it once in a while. It's a fault that I have. But then I'm sitting there like, why are you giving that any time, any energy? You could be out in the backyard filming grasshoppers, which is more productive than anything negative on the internet or going on the latest campaign to wreck this herper or that herper. I just block them all, block all their friends. I mean, just ignore them. And then you get down to the real people. I'm so glad I've got the people in my chat tonight that I do. A little bit different crowd than usual. I've got like 9 people watching right now, but these are 9 of the best people you're ever going to find on YouTube. Filming grasshoppers is amazing. I know, Ian, I did some shorts of like bugs because I was stuck at home so much this last year. Didn't get to herp out as much because we were building a house here. And we ended up tearing up scorpion dens. God, everything. Tarantulas, grasshoppers, wheel bugs. Exactly. Exactly. You gotcha. But, you know, go out and do something positive. And go out and do something for someone else. Get out of yourself. Do something to make the world a better place for someone else. And please, if you're a young person out there, you're listening to someone who is 50, who has been to jail, who has been in the back of a cop car more than one time. I've had my problems. What you're going through in school when you get bullied, don't be scared to tell an adult. And if maybe it's the kind of thing that you look back after you tell an adult and think maybe I shouldn't have told an adult can help you fix that or reconcile that. We've got to talk to each other. We got to be there for each other. And yeah, Ian, I'm not tracking with lubbers, American Southeast lubbers. Insect. Most of the time, I like get all the terminology. It's late, and I'm thinking lubber. Why do you say lubber? Banded rocks are pretty amazing. Super colorful grasshoppers. Okay. Yeah, I've seen those ones I think I've seen pictures of the ones in Florida. Hey man, at least you've made it to Florida. Look at that. I still haven't made it to Florida. At least been able to herp in Florida or look for any critters in Florida. When I've been there, it's just been go to this conference, you know, go to the hotel. No, you don't have time to go herping at night. Dang. But yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about now, Ian. Those are pretty cool. Do you have video of those on your channel? If so, please drop it in the chat because we'd love to see it. And some people are going to need something to take their mind off my heaviness tonight. I understand that totally, Ian. But guys, man, let's all look out for each other. Let's be friends with each other. Let's support each other's channels. Let's watch out for each other's channels. Let's watch out for each other's kids. Let's watch out for each other's communities. I hate to sound like a preacher or something at this point, but literally, if I can get the message out there and someone hears it, and maybe some kid who watches my channel hears it and then tells another kid at school and that helps him, then this was worth it. Like I said, I normally don't like to do stuff like this from this channel because I just want to keep it reptile and nature related. That's just me. But I had to get this off my chest. So thank you guys for being here tonight. Yeah, Ian, in your Florida Python video, I will check that out after this. And, you know, I was told by a friend of mine that recently went to Florida, he posted a picture of like himself holding a green iguana on North American Field Herp Association page on Facebook. Like, he actually got the game warden called on him because, like, he let it go. And it's like the only way you're supposed to be able to touch an iguana in Florida is if you're in the act of killing it because they're invasive, which I have no problem with, believe me. I don't like invasive wildlife. I mean, it's not the wildlife's fault, but we've still got to do something about it. But man, thank you guys for being there. And if you know a kid that needs to see this video, my God, share it with them. And tell him, get halfway through it. Because he just talks about all this boring YouTube stuff. Go to this point, click, and watch. Because I've been cool, I've been uncool. I've been one of the kids that had a lot of problems, and then I've been one of the kids that had seemed like I had everything. We all go through stuff. You know, don't be scared to talk to an adult if you're having problems, if you're being harassed, if you're being bullied. We have to stop bullying. I can't believe we're still dealing with it in this day and age. Exactly, Ian. They need to be eliminated. But am I going to get them out in front of my wife on a vacation? Ian, I just put a 12 gauge slug in them. I mean, and just leave them on the side of the road, and the feral hogs will eat them, and then maybe the feral hogs get gunned down because they eat the native rattlesnakes, and that's what we have to stop. I know you're going to get that. But yeah, exactly. I've been with my wife and accidentally hit like an armadillo or something, and she's like, you end up having to put the animal down, and she's like screaming in the vehicle. But it's like, we can't just let it suffer, you know? I mean, gang, thank you for hanging out tonight. Ran 77 minutes, a little longer than I wanted to, but I wanted to get that off my chest and say, kids, especially preteens, teenagers, and young adults, don't let something get you to the point to where you want to take your own life. Talk to an adult, talk to a minister, talk to a counselor. Even if you're not a member of the faith that minister is a part of, still talk to him. They'll be glad that you did. Talk to a responsible adult. Reach out to people on the internet if you have to. I mean, hit up your friend's parents or hit up your best friend's older sister or older brother. You don't know what kind of help you may find. But life is worth living. It gets tough sometimes, but it's worth living. So hang in there and do it for the long run. Let's cut the bullying. Let's cut the cyberbullying. And let's see teen suicide rates go down instead of going up. Because one is too many. Does not need to happen. And believe me, I've got a lot to say on that subject should that I ever be in a position to speak on it. Believe me. Thank you guys for checking this out tonight. Thank you, our special guest, Techno Endo, Ian, who I don't always see in my lives, bud. It's good to have you here tonight. And I meant every good word I had to say about you. Check out Techno Endo. I am always shouting out everybody else. I don't shout out Techno Endo enough. Guys, go check out Techno Endo. Good stuff. And remember, talk to a responsible adult.